or sad story must be fun to listen to. A lonely man with unkempt hair and dark circles sits on a sidewalk in a crowded city alley, surrounded by indifferent passers-by. Neon lights flicker above a narrow alley filled with shadows, where a homeless man sits with a lost expression. A young man, once full of dreams, stares blankly at the distant skyline, his torn clothes and tired eyes reflecting his struggle. A small, dimly lit apartment with a single framed picture of a smiling girl on a dusty table. A flashback scene of a brother and sister laughing together while eating street food. The siblings sitting by a riverbank watching the sunset, Hina playfully splashing water at Rayhan. Hina studying under the warm glow of a lamp while Rayhan watches proudly from the doorway. Rayhan carrying grocery bags, smiling as Hina teases him about his strength. Hina stepping out of the house at night for an errand, unaware of the danger ahead. Rayhan checking the clock repeatedly, growing more worried as time passes. An empty street under flickering streetlights, Hina nowhere in sight. Rayhan running out of the house, calling Hina's name in the empty street, the cursed night. Rayhan anxiously pacing outside his home, his phone clutched tightly in his shaking hands. A group of Rayhan's friends searching the streets with flashlights, worry on their faces. A shadowy police station where an officer casually leans back, dismissing Rayhan's plea. A police officer lazily scribbling on a notepad while telling Rayhan that girls leave home on their own. Rayhan banging his fists on a locked police counter, frustration and desperation in his eyes. A telephone ringing in the dead of night, a sinister atmosphere surrounding it. Rayhan answering the phone, his face frozen in horror as he listens to the ransom demand. The words, 1 million rupees, echoing in Rayhan's mind as he clutches the phone tighter. Rayhan sitting on the floor of his house, his hands buried in his hair, overwhelmed by despair. A small shop with a for sale sign hanging outside, Rayhan looking at it with a heavy heart. A shadowy figure handing Rayhan a bag of money, a suspicious look in their eyes. Rayhan holding a bag of money, staring at it with a mixture of fear and hope. A dark, abandoned warehouse with a single broken window allowing moonlight to cast eerie shadows. Masked men standing in a circle inside the warehouse, their faces hidden under black hoods. Rayhan hesitantly stepping forward, extending the money toward the kidnappers. A masked man tossing a blood-soaked scarf at Rayhan's feet. Rayhan falling to his knees, gripping the scarf with trembling hands, his eyes filled with unspeakable pain. The kidnappers laughing cruelly before vanishing into the night. Silent screams. Rayhan sitting in complete darkness, the blood-stained scarf clutched in his fingers. A courtroom with a judge looking down at Rayhan with indifference. Rayhan shouting at the judge, his face red with frustration as guards hold him back. A high-ranking official smirking as he tosses Rayhan's case file into a pile of discarded documents. Rayhan being dragged out of a government office by security guards, his eyes filled with helpless rage. A powerful businessman sitting in a luxurious office, casually dismissing Rayhan's concerns with a wave of his hand. Rayhan sitting alone outside a courthouse, looking up at the sky, hopelessness consuming him. A newspaper headline showing "Case Dismissed" with Rayhan's picture in the corner. A rainy night where Rayhan walks aimlessly, his soaked clothes clinging to his thin frame. Rayhan staring at his reflection in a shop window, seeing only a broken man looking back. A vision of Hina smiling at Rayhan from a blurry memory, fading into the shadows. A street lamp flickering as Rayhan makes a decision, his eyes now filled with cold determination. A notebook filled with names, Rayhan circling one name with a red marker. Rayhan sharpening a knife in the dim glow of a candle. A shadowy figure slipping through a dark alley, his hands hidden inside his coat. The first target, a man in a luxurious car unaware of Rayhan approaching. Rayhan's silhouette standing over a lifeless body, his face hidden in the darkness. A single bloody handprint on the wall, a sign of vengeance fulfilled. The fire of revenge. Rayhan looking at a newspaper headline about a mysterious killer hunting criminals. A powerful businessman sitting in his office, looking nervously over his shoulder. A high-ranking police officer loading a gun, preparing to track down the unknown vigilante. Rayhan hiding in an abandoned house, staring at a board with photographs of his targets. A close-up of Rayhan's hands wrapping a blood-stained bandage around his knuckles. A deserted street where a lone car is parked, its owner unaware of the shadow creeping closer. A candle-lit shrine where Rayhan places Hina's photograph, silently vowing justice. Rayhan gripping a knife tightly as he stands outside the last criminal's mansion. A grand house, but its windows dark as fear spreads among those inside. The moment before an attack, Rayhan crouching behind a wall, his heartbeat steady. A bodyguard turning around, only to see a flash of steel before everything goes black. The final criminal, kneeling and begging for mercy as Rayhan looms over him. Rayhan walking away from a burning building, his shadow disappearing into the smoke. Police officers arriving at the crime scene, horror etched on their faces. A TV screen showing vigilante killer caught, justice or murder. A jail cell closing as Rayhan calmly sits on the bed staring at his hands. A judge reading out the death sentence, but Rayhan shows no reaction. Rayhan standing in handcuffs, a cold smirk on his face as officers lead him away. The final moment. Rayhan sitting in his prison cell, looking up at the tiny window with a peaceful expression. A prison guard slipping a piece of paper into Rayhan's cell, a final message from someone unknown. Rayhan standing at dawn, the soft golden light touching his face one last time. A priest talking to Rayhan through the bars, but Rayhan only smiles faintly. A jail corridor with heavy footsteps echoing as guards march toward Rayhan's cell. The prison execution chamber, the noose hanging ominously in the center. Rayhan walking with slow, steady steps toward the gallows. A close-up of his hands, no longer shaking, but steady. A final memory of Hina's laughter flashing before his eyes. The executioner adjusting the noose while Rayhan smiles slightly. His final whisper, "Hina, I'm coming." The moment the trapdoor opens and the world turns silent. A distant shot of the prison, the sky overcast, as if mourning another lost soul. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel Thix.